Heads up, Swag is supposedly launching 6 new bowling balls in a brand relaunch in the US market. New cores, new cover combinations, a new website, and a new logo. Cue the intro. What's happening, bowlers? Chris Beans here with Bowlers Rant, bringing you some new updates from Swag Bowling. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons and turn on those notifications. I do appreciate your support of the channel. Today is the day. Somebody out there is going to say today's the day that Chris Beans is going to eat crow. That's right. I can't even get my words out today. I used to talk all this shit about Swag because back in the day it did look like doo-doo. But that is apparently no longer the case, and a Swag staffer leaked the entire story to me with details about these puppies. There's a lot going on in this screen right now. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new bowling balls, 2 asymmetrics, 4 symmetrical, and a brand new logo, right? There's a lot to choose from here, and there's a lot of different motions that supposedly were covered here. We're going to get into all that stuff. But first, let's talk about this logo. This is the heart of everything, okay? So the details that I got was that basically the management in Korea decided to go with a more sleek, more modern, and basically different direction, working with American Pro Shop members, American bowling staff members, people who know the U.S. domestic market. And these new products were supposedly developed and engineered for U.S. bowling conditions, okay? So how does this work? So basically, these new bowling balls, right, are going to ship to Bowlersmart. Bowlersmart's going to distribute them to the distributors. Okay, so pro shops will have access to these products. It will no longer be just direct to consumer. This is all fixed, and they'll be just like any other bowling ball, right? So that means that your pro shops will be able to pick these up from Delora, Grand Prix, Cooks, Hudson, Classic Island, Ace Mitchell, and your favorite pro shop can get these balls. And online retailers, but back in the day, they were all just drop shippers, right? So now you might be able to see these in your favorite pro shops, and you'll potentially see them also on more of the websites. There's a lot to talk about here, okay? Because we've got new covers, new cores, it's brand new testing and finishing process, and supposedly they have significant more back end. And I know that for a fact for at least one of these because I saw a video of the Black Dragon going down the lane, and I was cautiously impressed because I was like, holy shit, this ball actually moves. So let's get into the details, right? What is going on here? So first of all, Usbc approvals. These were supposedly approved in September of 2024, and I can confirm that right now. There's the Black Dragon, okay? We've got 2 in the C, so we got Craze Pearl and Craze Solid, both of these in September of 2024. There's also the Fusion, okay, September 2024. I think it's the Judge, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, 2024. And the last one is the Unreal. There it is. Man, I can't believe I got that on the first try. All right. So all 6 of these were approved months ago, under the radar. Nobody was paying attention, right? Including me. Now, here we go. Product specs, product details. This is the important stuff. This is the Black Dragon. We're starting with this one first because this is my favorite of the bunch. I'm going full bias on this one a little bit because I like the color and the shelf appeal. Yes, Chris Beans likes the shelf appeal. I will say that, the ball, they look a little different than what you see in the picture because I think what you see in the picture is a combination of a graphic and a tested ball, and that'll probably change over time, but this is a first launch, so we're going to give it some grace. This ball has the Dragon asymmetric core and the Scorch Solid cover stock, so it's a solid 1500 grit sanded, okay? It's in the Superior line. I'm guessing that's their upper performance line. I don't know enough about the performance line yet. Again, I'm just giving you the information that's been leaked to me. The number is at 15 pounds, if this flyer is to be trusted. 2.48 RG with the .054 differential, .018 asymmetric differential. So what kind of ball is this, okay? For those of you who are paying attention, this is asymmetric bowling ball. That means it's got a third number on there, which has a mass bias, and they tend to be stronger cores. There's a difference between more than 5% on each side. Here is a picture of the core. There it is. Bang. There is the Dragon asymmetric core. All right, so back to what is this going after? So basically the word is that this is going after the Hammer Black Widow, that this motion, and I have seen this ball wind up. It does kind of go sideways. It does catch in the lane, but it does have significant finish in the back. And bottom line, This is a benchmark ASIM bowling ball, probably going to be good for a lot of league conditions for a variety of style of players. So far, we're looking pretty good. But let's keep going. Next up on the list, we're going to be looking at the Judge. Okay, this is another asymmetric bowling ball. Okay, and we're going to just cover that right now. So again, here is the core. Boom, boom, boom. I do like this core, by the way. This core just looks like a nuclear missile. It looks really tough to me. Okay, all right. So what are we dealing with here? So this has got the Witness Solid cover stock and the Judge asymmetric core. It's in the Advanced Tech Performance category. That must be their top of the line. 2500 sanded. Okay, 2500 grit sanded. The numbers at 15 pounds, 2.49 RG with a .052 differential, .019 asymmetric differential. So it's not like super low RG, but it is low RG, a fair amount of differential, and a good amount of asymmetric differential. Translation, this is your heavy oil ball. It's going to compete with like the likes of a Proton Physics if you want to just put a nameplate out there that you can relate to if you don't know the latest bowling balls. A heavy oil monster like a gem, like, you know, whatever is out there that basically sucks up oil for your sport ball. This is that ball. I think I saw another iteration of this. Somebody sent me a leaked video on a phone, and if it's to be believed, it did catch in the middle. So it's not one that you want to miss left with. But if that's their sport ball, this is what they're going after, and I do like the shelf appeal on this one. You can see the logo finally. That's really important when you talk about bowling balls. Okay, next up on the list, we've got the Unreal. Okay, so now we're getting into the symmetrics. Okay, so this ball has the Never Quit Solid cover stock and the Unreal Symmetric core. It's in the utility performance line. Maybe that's their mid level. The finish 1500 solid. So this is a polished solid. This one has my attention. This one totally has my attention, and I think its shelf appeal is fantastic. Okay, there's great contrast. The pour doesn't look like doo doo, and the logo looks pretty tough. Okay, so the numbers at 15 pounds, 2.51 RG with a .047 differential. So let's talk about that. This is a symmetric bowling ball. Okay, so here is the core. It means the both sides. It's this uniform all the way around. Okay, so looks like a mushroom core if I'm not mistaken. So that's really interesting. So when I think about this bowling ball and I think about what is the use case for this bowling ball, this to me is basically going to be in your benchmark symmetric category. So probably like think of like a phase two, like maybe it was lane shined or something because it got some polish, and that's probably pretty close to where you're going to get. A lot of people like this kind of motion. They like medium RG with not with high mid level, upper mid level differential. First ball out of the bag, tell you what's going on with the lane if you need to ball up or ball down. Got it. Next up on the list, the Fusion. Okay, now this is probably going to be a step up from that. So this one is in the modern performance category, and this one has the Explode Solid cover stock with the Fusion Symmetric core. Okay, 3000 sanded. Okay, cool. The numbers have 15 pounds, 2.54 RG with an .036 differential. So I can already see it. A lot of people are like, "Hey, this looks like a physics type of logo." I don't, there's only so many different ways you can talk about something being nuclear, right? It's a chemical thing. But it is a symmetric bowling ball. So when we talk about symmetric bowling balls, here is the core, and maybe this is the mushroom core. I don't remember which one it is, but all I know is that this one looks very familiar to me, and it looks like it's a giant core, and it's probably going to give you a strong mid lane motion. So, if you are looking at this bowling ball and you're thinking, okay, what is the use case for the Fusion? You're probably going to be thinking, solid, strong, symmetric when it's going to give you a mid lane read, right? Versus the previous one, which has a little shine on it. This is going to be stronger and probably match up close to anything that's medium RG, but low differential. So it's going to get some control, but it's not going to be, it's going to start up a little later than something like an IQ. So looking strong, looking good. All right, next up on the list, I think this one's going to be the one that a lot of people are going to want to get. Okay, and the reason for that is because you have a really nice blend of medium RG and low differential, and for a solid bowling ball, this is the kind of bowling ball that a lot of people like to buy and bring to league, especially if they're only buying one bowling ball per year. So you've got The Rage Solid cover stock with the Craze Symmetric core. It's in their primary performance line. I'm guessing that's their, entry level. This is a solid reactive. It's 3,000 polish, so we got another polished solid. The number is at 15 pounds, 2.52 RG with an 0.32 differential. So, for the word is that I got from the tester on this one is that basically kind of like an IQ, but with a little more continuation, and that makes sense because it's a higher RG, so it's going to start up later. So again, symmetric bowling ball. We'll take a look at the core. Here it is. Bang. Okay, so you got this core happening for the Craze Solid. Looking sharp. Looking sharp. So let's get back here. So again, this is probably going to be a ball down from a benchmark. So this is something you might want to use if you're in a control scenario. You're probably not going to get a ton of flare on this ball, a little bit, but it is something that if you want to keep the ball in front of you and if it's going to give you a tour motion, it's probably going to be an option if you like the control style of motion. At least that's the details I got from the leak. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about the Craze Pearl. Okay, this ball has, again, the Craze Symmetric core, and it has the Rage Pearl cover stock. It's in the primary category. The cover type, so it's a Pearl, 1500 polish. This is not 1500 grit polish. This is 1500 in polish. I want to make that distinction. The number's at 15 pounds. Again, 2.52 RG with an 0.30 differential. So we're going to take a look at the symmetrical cores, and again, here it is. Boom, same core, but you can tell that in this graphic, it came from the Craze Pearl bowling ball. So what kind of bowling ball what's the use case for this bowling ball? Okay, so what are we talking about here? So this is something that is probably going to be, if I was to guess, probably a little later than an IQ Ruby and give you some continuation out the back. And it's probably going to move a lot more in the back than the Craze Solid. So if you're looking for the entry level stuff and you want to, bang for your buck, Craze Pearl, Craze Solid, Craze Pearl will be like your 1-2 punch there. So that's what we got for these bowling balls, right? Not too shabby. Let's talk about the shelf appeal because that is my favorite part of this. We've covered a lot of ground, got shelf appeal. What's going on? I'm going to tell you hands down, I'm going to go with the Black Dragon, without a doubt, because I've actually seen a photo of it and it looks pretty fantastic. It means business. And if this ball sells pretty good, I would expect this might be the start of, maybe a line that sticks around for a while. That's really, really cool. And then after that, I'm going to go with a tie between the Judge and the Unreal. Probably leaning towards the Unreal, but that's just a personal preference thing, just because I like contrast and I like the aggression between the logo and I like the swirls on the pour. I'm not too crazy about, that's probably not the right word. I'm indifferent about the infusion. I don't dislike it or like it. It's there. But the thing is, what really matters with balls like that, especially the standard ones, do they perform and do they move? And the rumor that I got is that nothing on this line happens to be a turd. Time will tell and will ultimately be up to you if you get these bowling balls and decide what to do with them. So that's what we got for today. Now, the rumor is that if this launch is coming early, there's one more thing I forgot. I almost forgot. Last but not least, there is a new website. And I got the URL. Here it is, swagbowling.com. This is new. This is different. There's nothing on this website yet. This is just a simple domain. It's out there. It exists. You can't do anything with it. But this looks very different than that really crappy Korean site that they used to use. This is just a very different swag. And if this direction continues, I'm expecting really good things. Maybe this is a revolution against the corporate bowling companies that have been out there for such a long time that control bowling, the good old boys club, the people that want to put people out of business and try to buy other bowling ball companies. Maybe this will be the revolution against that stuff. And if it is, I'm all for it. Rumor is that they're going to be launching next week. So if they are, well, then that means that there's probably influencers that already have this stuff. Keep an eye on people like J.R. Raymond. Keep an eye, see if maybe Charles Hutchison or Luke Rosedahl, or if any of the other influencers out there, who knows who's going to get these things. But if they're out there, you can guess that there'll be videos coming really soon, and that'll be really, really interesting to see how these balls perform with different bowling balls, different bowling styles. Wow, I can't talk. I need a glass of water. I'm really excited. It's very, very interesting, and I'm glad that I could bring you this story. You probably know some of this stuff I don't know either. So, what do you know, if anything, about these bowling balls or about the swag relaunch? Do you have any more information? Have you seen anybody throw these bowling balls? Is this rumored to be true? If so, drop me a comment, let me know, and as usual, let's continue the conversation. More updates are coming, and until then, bow well.